Yep.
Sean, I did not get a chance to take a look at that. Are those in that the same email as the
Yes.
agenda?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cecilia, do you have anything regarding the trash abatements?
No, they look
Any
good.
questions? Okay. So I will take a look at that real quick. I don't want to lose you guys again.
I mean, I can share my screen and put them.
Yeah, you know what? If you
Oh,
can
no,
do that.
you know what? I don't know if I can because it has addresses.
Oh, okay. No, let's not do that.
I just don't think I want to. But
Yeah,
they're
no,
all
we don't.
basic, the same. A lot of vacant properties.
Okay, I imagine that there aren't going to be any questions that I have about that, but I will take a peek. I just cannot pull it up right now. Sorry, having technical difficulties tonight. So let's go ahead and we'll move to the next
Actually,
item on the agenda, which is new business.
We have nothing for new business.
Nothing for new business. And for old business, we have COVID-19, general COVID-19 update. And I will send that to you, Sean, while I take a look at the abatements.
So right now we
actually,
have.
can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I see an invoice here for, can I say the name out loud?
An
Or
invoice?
should I just give you the parcel ID?
Is this for the trash abatements?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So
Yep.
yeah, you have the backup. For which account number?
So I have 002117. I don't see
There's
that.
nothing on there.
Huh? 002117.
I don't have anything. Zero. So 2117.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't believe I have them. Hold on for a second. 2117.
It's not on the abatement sheet.
Okay, yeah, I don't see that one on the abatement sheet, but is it in the,
Oh, did I?
is it missing from the abatement sheet? Is that
No,
what you're wondering?
No, I don't. Why they're not getting an abatement? You might have the wrong one, Cecilia. They got an abatement on Millennium Way. They made a payment. They had an abatement of $1.47 for interest, but I don't know why you have that one.
Yeah, I have another one here too. That's not, it's 1156.
Oh, those came off of the main. So I don't know if you have the most current one. I thought I sent you the current one.
The first account I have is 809.
Yep.
Okay. So these were just at then these were just at the end.
Oh, okay. So they weren't actually on the spreadsheet,
No,
right? Okay, good. Oh, you can just toss those.
you got it. Then I don't have any other questions.
Okay, so I'm just taking a look at those real quick. Everything looks okay to me. The only thing that I would say, Sean, is for when we actually do the signatures, Steve Nelson is still listed, and Dell's
Oh my
sorry,
goodness. I will
and
change that. I'm sorry.
Cecilia is not. So we just need
The
to
names.
change that before we actually do
Yeah,
our signatures. on
Thank
it.
you. I'll
Okay.
revise that.
Otherwise, those look good. All right,
Thank
any
you.
other questions about those, Cecilia?
Nope.
No, okay. Okay, so Shelley, I will go ahead and pass it over to you to talk about the general COVID-19 update.
So we currently have 217 positive cases. We're not getting as much as we did in December. We're getting probably anywhere from 30 to 36 a day. I am providing that information still to the fire chief. And any questions that people call on that have a question, they all get referred to the public health nurse.
Okay, and could you just explain to everybody why that's getting sent to the fire chief?
Because she's now a public health nurse and I don't have to worry about it.
No, to the fire chief.
What's that? Oh, so he's as the first responder, he gets all the addresses every day. So that if he ever gets a call, it will flag it. So he enters these addresses into his database. So then when a call comes in and somebody's sick, they know it could be COVID related. And also not that they don't go in full PPE because they've been for the last 2 years, but it gives them a heads up to say somebody in that house is COVID positive.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that. Anything else with the COVID update?
Nope. So no, nothing else on as far as the COVID. We don't have any policies, changes or procedures right now. We've got nothing going on. There's no more contact tracing. There's no more calling people. However, the public health nurse is going to start sending letters to people just to say, heard you were positive. This is the new guidance, and the guidance changes every single day.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cecilia, any questions about any of that?
Nope.
Okay. And then the COVID at-home testing kits distribution policy.
I'm going to table that because I do not have any kits yet.
Okay.
They haven't come.
Are we expecting some more to come soon?
I purchased some with grant money. Okay. And I'm just waiting for them to get shipped, and it'll probably take about 2 weeks.
How many did you purchase?
Well, I purchased, so in the beginning, when the state came out and gave us a list of all the manufacturers for the testing kit, they gave us a list of who we could order from at cost. So we get the link, I go on, I put 7 in my, because I only got like $10,000. So I put 7 cases in my cart. And then I went to go check out and it said, oh, taxes are owed. So then I said, I'm tax exempt. I had to wait and get our tax exempt letter. Kits were $10 each, right?
Is that 2 tests per kit?
2 tests per kit. So I ordered 7 boxes. There's 90 in a box. So it's a little over 600 kits. And then I finally got the tax exempt. Day later, I went in to give them the tax exempt information and the price jumped to $20 per kit.
Wow.
Which is what the going rate is anyway. So that's what you're paying. That's what you're paying for. That's what you're paying anyway.
So I reached out to this lady who's been so helpful through this whole process. And I said, Alana, I just noticed now from 8,000, it's now 16,000. And I said, is there anyone that I can speak to get the price adjusted accordingly? And she agreed, and she gave us at the price it was the day before. I was so lucky. She said, just this one time and only what's in your cart. So
Awesome.
That's
now,
great.
and like the BioNext, like all the tests I went on and looked, some are $50 for two.
Mhm.
They're like, the price is just doubled. So crazy. So I'm happy that,
How do you, oh, I'm sorry, Dilshan, I didn't mean to cut you off.
that's
Apologize.
okay. I'm just happy that I just took that extra step so that
Yes.
we weren't paying that much money. It doesn't
Mhm.
hurt to ask, so
These are antigen, correct? They're
What?
antigen tests.
yeah.
They're antigen tests, obviously. Okay. All right. So it looks like we're about 3 weeks out from handing these out. How do you want to handle handing them out, or you don't want to discuss it yet till we get them?
Yeah, I don't want, I'd rather not discuss it because there's options out there
Yeah.
that we could do.
Okay. Could we just make sure that the options are run by us, like
Yes.
the board? Thank you. That's it. Yeah, that's awesome. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. If you hadn't asked about that, we wouldn't be getting as many tests, so that's great.
Great.
Okay, so any other questions about the test kits? Okay.
Nope.
All right, other policy and procedure changes. I don't think we have anything there, but Delshawn, do you have anything to add for that?
I don't, right now, the town hall is just a recommendation to wear your masks.
Right.
And people are wearing them. We wear them when we go up to the door. If somebody's there. A part of my health agent's report, I was going to talk about it, so I'll talk about it now. Back in, I'm trying to read here. I sent wish list. Oh, okay. So back in May, I get a letter, an email from the state saying we have a surplus of PPE. And then they gave us kind of a menu. And I went on there and I said, I want all this stuff. And then I sent it off, and then I got an email and said, we're sorry, right now, we're gonna hold off on it. Back in December, I was informed again that we had an opportunity for PPE. Again, I filled out the request, AKA my wish list, and got an email and said, thank you. However, we are delaying the distribution of these. So I said, okay. Friday morning, Janine says, some guy's here and he's got a big pallet. And I thought they were the at-home test kits. And I was like, what the heck? I didn't even get a tracking number. Oh my God. The pallet was absolutely huge. When I went out there, I was like, what is this? Well, it was all the PPE surplus that the state had. I got some, you saw, Christine, right?
Mhm.
The aprons, they're like lab coats.
Gowns, they're gowns, yeah.
Okay. I got thermometers. I got a box of thermometers. I got some booties, some Tyvek suits that it will come in handy for me when I need them. They actually did come in handy because I got a bed bug call on Friday. So I suited up. I mean, I'm really thrilled. I'm really happy because I would have had to use our money. And I just didn't want to do that. So we got disinfectant wipes, booties, and N95 masks.
Did you get gloves?
We got, yep, latex gloves, small and extra large. And So Kathy Ryan's gonna reach out to one of the hospitals to see if they could use the, what do you call them, Christine, aprons?
The gowns,
Gowns.
hospital, yeah, they'll
Yeah.
get the gowns. Yeah.
Kathy, I reached out to the schools, I reached out to Calvary Church and the collaborative and Rockland schools. No one wants any, they didn't need any. So Kathy Ryan is gonna reach out to the hospital to see if they.
Is she going to reach out to the hospital, or is she going to reach out to the nursing homes in the area?
Both nursing
Okay.
homes and hospitals. Yep.
Okay, so that was one of the things I just thought about, just Cecilia, when I happened to go in this morning just to sign, and I saw the pile of so it was like, what is that? So anyway, I just suggested that Kathy maybe call the South Shore Nursing Facility and Webster Park to see if they needed any of those supplies as skilled nursing facilities in the area. Because I know sometimes when they go to order the supplies that they are either back ordered or extremely expensive. Like you were saying, of course,
Mhm.
supply and demand, everything, the expense of everything is really high. And if there isn't someplace else that Kathy thinks that would make sense for us to send it, that we could maybe just reach out to them. So Kathy's going to do that.
Yes.
Is there anything else about that?
So today, I put out on the website that we had N95 masks. I mean, we have a box, huge box of N95 masks. So I put it out this morning, and I would have taken a different route, but Janine didn't feel well today, so I was alone in the office, but it was already out there, and so people came, so I started handing them out to Rockland residents, picture ID. I think people might have been confused as to this batch of N95 masks. These masks were not from the federal government. These aren't the ones that the president said that he was shipping out to the pharmacies for free for people. These were just surplus items that the state gave me for whatever I wanted to do with them. So there was so many masks. So I was like, what am I going to do with all these masks? So I put it out there. A few people were upset because they could only get one mask because of the last time what happened. I was giving out 2 test kits and people they went quickly. So I'm giving them out. I still have some, not a lot, but they're still available in the Board of Health and people can come and get their ID. Again, these aren't the ones from the federal government. Those are getting shipped to pharmacies because apparently you can get 4 from the federal government. So it was just kind of a timing thing where they probably assumed that these were for the federal government. These are not from the federal government. These are surplus from the state. And I'd like to give back to the community as much as possible. So
I think it's important that these resources get placed in the hands of our residents. So that'll particularly come in handy for people that have like a COVID outbreak at home, to have access to those things like the gowns, the booties. So I mean, the ideal situation would be for people to come and get them as they need it. But I understand that that's hard to control.
yeah,
Just putting it out there in a community sense that, we ask that, if you don't need it, don't come get it. And if you do need it, that's what we have it for. So that's great.
And the N95s I know can be worn for, multiple days. So it's not,
yes,
wear it once, throw it away. So one N95 can be worn for the duration of a quarantine period and still be effective. So, one N95 mask is sufficient per person, in the household. So,
Yeah,
we
it's, I
want to
mean,
just throw that out there.
like we were saying, I mean,
Sorry,
these
go
things,
ahead.
like we were saying, these things are expensive, some people
Oh, yeah.
some people can't afford these.
Yes.
So,
No.
but some people can. So I would ask that the people that can afford them to try to leave them for the people that can't. So
Mhm. Right. Okay, anything else? Since you kind of started health agent report, do you want to finish that up and then we'll move on to dumpster guidelines?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take some time out for Scott to get in. So office update. Stacey Callahan, HR director, and I did interviews last week. And I'm excited and so happy to say that we selected a resident of Rockland, and she's going to start next week.
awesome.
Yay!
We're getting there. We're getting there. And this is my thing. We hire a public health nurse finally, right?
Right. Yep.
Stop contact tracing. Right? Like you can't even make it up. So
Murphy's Law.
it is. But you know what? But I'm able to do so much more. And it was a blessing, like today, I had the ability to like get interrupted and, go to the door. And so, but pretty soon we're gonna have a full staff.
That's great.
Yep. Again, Kathy Ryan's been so helpful, even though the state has informed us that we don't have to do any more contact tracing. She's been extremely helpful working with the staycares, working with outbreaks that happened in rehab, and still helping with the schools. So that is all taken off my plate. I don't have to deal with the schools. I'll miss them all. But I'm happy that I don't have to worry about it. And Kathy's all over it. All the food establishments have been inspected as of December 28th. Mattresses, I'm just reminding you guys that the grant expires at the end of this month. So January 31st, 2022, we will be now responsible for paying for the transportation and the disposal of the mattresses. I don't know if the board wants an input. I was, right now, we ask for $25 per a mattress, per a box spring, regardless of the size. I haven't gotten a reply back from Green Mattress, the company that picks up our mattresses. So I'm just waiting for him to give me back a price list. I don't think it will be that much, but I do think that we should increase the fee. And I thought $40 per mattress per box spring.
Okay. Well,
Is that for recyclable and non-recyclable mattresses? The same price regardless?
Same price regardless.
Does it cost the same to get rid of a recycle? It does. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That much I do know.
Okay.
So
But
that's
I
something,
don't know-
Delshon, that we should put on the agenda for next month so that we can.
We're gonna have to start charging February 1st. Our meeting's not until like the middle or end of February.
Do we, I'm sorry to ask, I just want to make sure I understand completely. Do we get a stipend when we bring back a recyclable mattress? Do we get any money for it?
No.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
We don't know what the fee is yet you didn't get that back. So we
I
don't
didn't-
know. We
I
can't
didn't-
really talk about what that's going to be because we don't know what
Well,
the.
I will tell you that many municipalities range from $20 to $50.
A lot of municipalities though don't charge for mattresses that they can recycle. That's the thing I want. Do you know what the numbers are on that?
I've never heard that. I don't know, like what municipalities, do you know?
I know Avon
Avon what, doesn't pay for
charge,
mattress?
they don't charge for a mattress that can be recycled. That's in good shape.
Well, they're probably on the grant.
Okay.
That would be my only assumption. I don't know how they would afford that.
Okay. Hold on, I'm looking at here. $45 fee to dispose of a mattress that is not recyclable. What is the grant? How does the grant work?
The grant is, we were charging $25 and we weren't getting any other charges. We were charging residents $25
Mhm.
and we weren't paying money out for that, for transportation and disposal costs.
Okay.
So we were able to save money during this grant. That's the money that we got for the grant was like $28,000.
Okay.
So we used that money. So it didn't come out of anything from Rockland. It came from the state.
Okay.
And we were, I mean, we don't have to go up. We can, I mean, we don't have to.
So we're
However,
already charging $25 per mattress.
yes,
So that's not going to change come February 1st.
correct.
Okay,
Good
so
point.
I think right
Right.
now
So
for
we
tonight,
could continue with the $25.
I think we're right now for tonight, it was not an agenda item. We need to move on and just continue.
Yeah.
We'll put that on next month's agenda. We'll talk
Okay.
about that. Hopefully by then you'll have that information about costs and all of that. We can pull that together and then we can have a more educated discussion about how much it
Okay.
would make sense if we decide to increase the
Perfect.
cost.
You got it.
Make sense?
Yes, definitely. That's what I like talking about it because sometimes I don't think completely out of the box. So when you said that, I was like, oh my God, no. So we'll continue with the $25 fee. And then in February, we'll discuss and I'll get in touch with Adam. Okay.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. Anything you want to add, Cecilia?
Nope. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else for the health agent report?
No, we're going to reopen the swap shop. The swap shop will reopen in the spring.
And can you just tell everybody what that is? Remind them,
I'm sorry.
remind everybody what the swap shop is?
So the swap shop is a way to promote reuse, repurpose, the 5 R's. I'm just trying to find it, swap shop.
Recycle? I don't know what they are.
Refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycle.
There you go.
Yes.
Say that 10
it's-
times fast.
So it's for people, residents that have a nice TV stand or a lamp or, something in working order, something that somebody else might want from trash to treasure.
Okay.
So
And
they
this
can
is-
drop that off at the swap shop. The attendants obviously have the say of whether or not can go into the swap shop. And then residents can also go in and take those items and reuse them, repurpose them, and do whatever they want with them. Keep them. So that's going to open up again in April.
April, okay. Do
Yep.
we have a date, April, you know what
I would
date?
say it's opened every Sunday, starting from April to the end of fall.
Okay. And that swap shop is located at the recycle center.
It is. Yep. Right when you drive through the gate to the left is a shed that I got from Reed's Ferry through a grant. And it's so cute. I got to like create it. I love it. But there are items that they won't take, and those are mattresses, bulky and unupholstered furniture, computers and hazardous materials, and no paints, basic stuff, but the attendants know what to accept there and whatnot.
Okay, is there any signage up as to what they'll take and what they won't take on the shed?
There's a sign on the shed that says swap shop. So I have like a little blurb thing that once it reopens, I will post it again, just reminding people. It says, my notice says the swap shop at the Rockland Recycling Center will reopen every Sunday in April from 8:30 to 11:30. The town of Rockland promotes 5 Rs: refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycle. All residents are encouraged to utilize the swap shop to drop off gently used items to purpose at no charge. The attendants expect the swap shop to be bustling during the spring of 2022 as residents begin unloading their treasures. As a reminder, accepted items must be in good and usable condition. The attendants have the right for refusal.
Okay. Can we put that out on the trash bills?
I can't hear you. I will put it, yep, I have a reminder in March to put it on the March billing.
Okay, terrific.
Yep.
All right. Anything else about the swap shop?
Nope, sounds like a great endeavor.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else for the health agent report?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So next on the agenda is the dumpster regulations or guidelines.
How long have we been doing this for?
It's a process. Okay.
I just want to get a cleaner version of mine so we can.
That were adjusted by the town council.
What's the
Sorry,
question?
Cecilia. I'm sorry. Did you get a chance to take a look at the guidelines that were adjusted? Okay.
Yep.
So we have a few things that we need to address. So I guess it makes sense to just do it from the beginning.
I can't hear you too good, Christine. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I think it's probably I was looking away. I guess it makes sense to start from the beginning.
Yeah, the first one.
So the definitions. So one of the comments that, there's to the side there, I'm looking at the first comment, EK1, that there are multiple uses of the term container in conjunction with dumpster. I think my thoughts about this, and you can, Cecilia, tell me what you think, that we should just get rid of container and just use dumpster. And then it's not too
And
different.
then there's no, yeah.
It's just all dumpster. It's not using two separate terms for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so we just want to use the word dumpster on everything.
Everywhere that it says container, we're just replacing that with dumpster.
Okay.
I would say everywhere with the exception of the definition of a dumpster.
Oh, right, because it says any container.
So I
Yes.
would keep it at the container in the definition and
Yeah,
then
right.
there just
Yes.
refer to it as a dumpster.
Yes, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you. Okay. And then we have two,
Oh, where are the definitions? Oh, there, never mind. I'm sorry.
okay. DK2 is neither self-contained or nor enclosed dumpster appears as termed in the current draft unless there are other pending definitions necessary.
He's right. It doesn't mention anywhere else in the,
Else, yeah, in the
it's never rough.
guidelines.
So why define it?
Right. So I think unless we're going to change wording of in other areas to self-contained, then we don't need it.
Correct. How do you feel about that, Sean? Because you're the,
Yeah, no, I'm totally in agreement. Yeah,
okay.
in
Okay,
agreement.
so-
Is that a word? In agreement. Yeah, I'm good.
Agreement?
All right, so
In agreement?
I'll take that. Yep. So we want to strike that.
For now, unless for some
For
reason
now.
somebody wants
Yeah,
to.
unless we feel like we need to add it, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
One
so I'll
of the
take
things
that
that
out.
we may want to add in the definitions, however, is.
Christine, I'm having difficulty hearing you.
All right,
Oh,
can you
when
hear
you
me if
look-
I look
yeah.
directly at the computer?
Yes.
Better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so one of the things that we are two things that we may want to add is the in-place dumpster definition and temporary dumpster definition.
In place dumpster. So I think in place dumpster, all that means is not a temporary dumpster.
Correct.
So I don't really think it needs to be
One
defined.
one of the comments was that, what exactly is a temporary dumpster? So I believe that comment was DK6.
Yep.
Is there an operational definition of quote temporary
Sites.
site? Sorry,
That's okay.
wrong one.
And a temporary dumpster needs to be defined as well. That's under,
Sorry, that's DK4. I apologize.
There are no corresponding definition in section 5 for temporary dumpsters should be defined in section 1.
Right.
Oh, okay. So add the definition for temporary dumpster.
right. I think what he's saying though is we need to have specific parameters that would make a dumpster temporary.
Exactly. So I think there's, we basically took kind of what was already here and I don't know that there is a specific, from the old guidelines, there's no specific statement about what a temporary dumpster is.
Correct.
I think that needs to be, that the board needs to figure out what a temporary dumpster is, right?
Right.
And how long can somebody have a temporary? That is a part of the building department. That's a building department permit.
Okay.
John Lucas sent me something a while ago about dumpsters. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that there is,
There
you know,
is, he gave me something and I don't know what I did with it. I can't find the
Okay.
email.
so we, I guess, need to clarify, get some clarification
Yep,
again. on what
we
that
need,
is,
we
because
definitely need. that.
obviously for our purposes, I mean, my definition of that is a dumpster that obviously is not, you know, is being used for
A short period of
construction,
time.
yeah, a short period of time, being used for construction, things like that. And the in-place dumpster is one that is more permanent for, you know, a restaurant, for residential, you know, use for, you know, large apartment buildings, things like that.
I wouldn't even like reference it as an in-place dumpster, just so there's no confusion. I would reference it as a dumpster and a temporary dumpster.
Yes.
I would get rid of in-place dumpster because that's essentially just a dumpster.
Where do you see in place?
Which makes sense to me too.
Definition, this language needs to be clarified. What proximity? Definition of temporary sites should be included in session 1. Sorry. Supervision is not leaving uniform frame. So it is section 5, comment DK10. Is there an intended definition for in-place dumpster?
Oh, okay.
So just get rid of in place there, just call it what it is, a dumpster.
And just call it a dumpster. Okay, strike the in place part and
Yep.
call it a dumpster.
Yep. And then on where we were at in section 2 at the end, make sure section 5 becomes section 1 now, as defined in section 1.
Wait a minute, where are you now?
The end of section 2.0.
At the end of section 2.0.
Yep.
Oh, this, okay, yeah.
So I would say, so strike section 5. It should be section 1, because that's where we're going to define temporary dumpsters. Do you see
Okay,
it?
and they don't get the permit from the highway
What section
department either.
1.0 for definitions?
They wouldn't get it from the highway.
For the temporary dumpster?
Right, they would get it from, so you're saying 2.5 needs to go where?
No, the
No.
very last line under in section 2, right before section 3.0 begins.
It says.
Oh,
C,
okay,
temporary dumpsters.
So that section 5 needs to be section 1.
section 1, okay,
And
All right.
container is going to become dumpster. So temporary dumpster. And then
Okay.
we need to define what a
All right.
temporary dumpster is.
Right.
okay. I'm at section 2.5.
Okay.
And I just reread it and it says permit from the highway. That is not true.
Okay.
That would be from the building department.
Okay, so highway department should say building department.
If it's placed on town property, it's the building department.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
And
I'll review
consider
that
an
one
obstruction-
section with Dave Taylor,
Sorry, go
just to
ahead.
be on the safe side.
What-
I
I'm
was
sorry,
just-
would you repeat that, Delshawn?
I'm gonna review that part with Dave Taylor, just to confirm, but I believe it's building.
Okay.
And dumpster permit from the Board of Health. All right, so I'll go over that blurb and clean it up a little bit, because there is no permit. I don't have a dumpster permit.
Yep.
So we might even just strike that whole thing or make it shorter and just say any dumpsters that are going to need to go to the building department. I'll
Right,
find
but
out.
it would not even be something that fits into our guideline.
Exactly, right. Yep. All right, so I'll go over that with Tom Rubel and Dave Taylor.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the next one is, are there any restaurants or facility requiring a food permit that would not be encompassed within our definition of food establishment? So I guess that's a question for you, Delshawn.
Are there any restaurants or facility requiring a food permit that would be encompassed within our definition of a food establishment?
I would say yes. Right? Like if you have like central kitchen, I wouldn't consider that, I don't know, a food establishment. Would you?
Under the definition of food establishment, it is listed as an operation that stores, prepares, packages, serves, vends, or otherwise provides food for human consumption.
Okay.
So I think
Yeah.
based on the definition, it would still be considered a food establishment, even if it was a vendor of some sort.
Yeah, so I guess we would strike it then. So 2.8B,
Yep,
where it says food establishment, comma, restaurant, or any other use that requires a food service permit.
I think we should just strike that whole section.
Okay.
So it would read dumpsters that are for the sole purpose of containing processed
Didn't we-
recyclable materials as defined under the Town of Rockland Recycling Program, unless it is associated with or within proximity to a food establishment, period.
Yes.
So scratch the rest of that line.
okay, so that ending,
Yeah. Yes. So after food establishment, that's it, period. Nothing
Well-
further.
well, I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Containers and or dumpsters that are for the sole purpose of containing post-processed recyclable materials defined under the Town of Rockland's recycling program, unless it is associated with or within proximity to a food establishment. All right, period. And then scratch that. Okay,
Correct.
all right.
And the containers in front of on A and B,
I'm gonna get rid of-
2.8 A and B, we cross that. Okay.
Yep.
So we already talked about 2.8C. So now we're on contract.
And then we already did DK4.
Yeah, we're in DK5.
Okay,
So this is a tough one. Wetlands. So maybe we should add a definition to wetlands in section 1.
yeah.
do
Add
you-
definition to wetlands, yep.
What do you think, Christine?
Yeah. I agree.
Oh. Gosh,
So in section 1.0, definitions.
okay.
Well, I get what he's saying here. So I think this whole line could be striked because we can still define wetland because the first sentence has the word wetland, but then we reference that the location must also be approved by the Rockland Conservation Commission or agent thereof. I'm not sure that that belongs in our guideline. And then it forces us to specify what is the proximity. It's a pretty vague term.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so when he starts to say the location in proximity to wetlands, we scratch that,
Yeah,
that whole ending to
I would.
4.4?
it's got nothing to do with us, but
Okay,
what do you
Okay,
think?
so you're suggesting, just so I'm clear, that we leave the first sentence, each dumpster shall be located a minimum of 20 feet sloped away from any wetland resource area.
Yep.
And just scratch the rest? Must be
Yeah, because
approved
that doesn't pertain to us.
Must be approved by the Rockland Conservation Commission. Um, I'm thinking, I guess if we're leaving that though, what is, either way, I think we still have to define wetlands.
Well, yeah, because it's on the it's in the first sentence.
Yeah, so I'll write wetlands
Okay, all right.
in definition.
If you want to
Right.
leave that, Christine, the second sentence, you could say something like, the location the location of the dumpster on a wetland may also need to get approval by the Rockland Conservation Commission. Kind of like say like, it's your responsibility to kind of reach out to them or something like that. Either that or we just strike it, whatever you prefer.
I just think we strike it.
I agree. It makes it less convoluted. It just makes it less confusing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what the definition we're using for a temporary dumpster is going to be a dumpster that is temporarily they are no longer than 30 days.
Well,
Do we,
I think that's what we need to decide what our parameters going to be for what constitutes temporary.
okay, and I'll go over that with Tom again. I'll talk to Tom Rubel about that again.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
we can, that'll afford us some time to do a little bit of research of what temporary in the surrounding towns is considered, what's considered temporary. Is it 30? Is it 60? I don't,
Yeah, and I'm not even sure that it makes a difference in terms of the number of days so much as it is.
purpose.
Yeah, I don't know if it's listed as, if it's even listed as a number of days. I mean, if just thinking in terms of, for example, somebody's putting an addition on their home, they're going to have a dumpster. It might be there for 2 or 3 months, depending on the project. And something that might be holding it up, et cetera, and period, that might be an issue. So
I think what the attorney's trying to say is that either regardless, we need to define it a little bit. It needs to be a little bit less, it needs to be more conspicuous than what we have.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're referring to 4.5, correct?
In regards to what?
The temporary sites. For the temporary sites of the dumpster.
So on 4.5, I say you just change sites to get rid of sites, just make it dumpster.
Just get rid of, well, other than temporary,
Dumpsters.
okay, dumpsters. Other than, so you want me to get rid of sites and write dumpsters?
Yeah.
Okay,
Board of Health may require all dumpsters other than temporary dumpsters to be fully enclosed or screened with permanent solid fencing.
Yeah, makes sense. Each enclosed.
Correct, because a dumpster is essentially on a dumpster site.
Right.
Throwing in the word site, you're just adding another definition that needs to be
Who would know that dumpster guidelines were so complicated?
Oh,
I mean, you guys, don't forget we have animals coming up too. I gave you guys the animal permits.
Oh, yeah, well, one thing at a time, please.
One regulation a year.
Okay. Oh, Lord, okay. All All right, definitely agree with that. In terms of getting rid of- Okay,
And that gets rid
Now-
of the issue with K6.
yes,
So now we don't need to define a temporary site because we've already defined what a temporary dumpster is.
Okay.
correct. All right. and who's intended to- Okay, DK7, I think that's not,
It's just two words, one right after the other. You just need to get.
oh yeah,
rid
we
of
just
one.
need to get.
Well, no, I don't think so. What I think he's doing is saying that we should strike. Is refuse intended to be a distinct term for him? So yes, refuse is trash. It's another word for trash.
And or refuse in the dumpster. So do we define refuse?
No, we don't.
I mean,
Um,
closure shall be provided with much engagement.
Maybe just take out that word. Because it is what he's saying. It is all those things.
Well, yeah, rubbish and garbage are essentially the same as refuse.
Exactly.
Okay.
yeah,
So
so we
just take out. Will
So
you
we're gonna
put
remove and or.
and or
refuse.
refuse? Okay. Yep.
And make it rubbish, garbage, recyclable materials, and putrescible solid waste.
Yep.
Hopefully I used that correctly. Okay, perfect.
In the dumpster. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, that's that section.
Um,
All right, let's go to the next page starts with 4.6.
All
yeah,
right. So I'm going to
Okay.
strike that in 4.7 as well.
Yes, 4.7, yes, strike that as well. It will read the same as it does in 4.5, please.
So 4.5 and 4.7, both I'm striking and or refuse.
Correct. And after recyclable materials, you're writing the word and.
Can't hear you again.
Sorry, after the word recyclable materials, you're taking out comma and putting and.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so then we go to DK9.
Oh, wait a minute. We missed DK8.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No
Why-
dumpster should be
what
used to
is
dispose of
not-
hazardous materials or biomaterials or waste.
Oh, God.
So he's saying we should have a definition of waste.
well, isn't solid waste the same as rubbish or garbage?
Yeah. We could just get rid of the word or waste.
Yeah. Yeah, what I would do is honestly, I would call it removing solid waste, recyclable materials,
This is 4.9.
4.7.
Oh,
Oh,
he
I see.
referenced this on 4.9.
I got you. I see it. Dispose of hazardous or biomaterials or waste as defined. Oh, okay. So he's just saying make that solid waste because you're already referencing it in
Okay,
other spots as
so
solid.
write solid in front of it or solid waste.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And is there a definition for solid waste?
We can add one if we think it's necessary.
I can add it.
It's up to you if you think that some people might not.
Do you think we should? I mean,
Yeah, why not? I honestly think that we should define solid waste and recyclable materials.
Do you think we should then go and say rubbish, garbage, recyclable materials?
Yeah,
All those definitions?
I think we should define those.
Okay.
Okay. This will be 200 pages by the time we're done.
I think that on 4.10, we should just strike everything in pink and just say dumpsters are not to be filled after 9 PM or before 7 AM.
So I do take issue with that because
Mhm.
some businesses are open, they close later. So at like 12 o'clock, some businesses are 24 hours. So we're essentially,
So the provision is problematic and vague. It needs to be clarified as the benefit purpose to having a uniform time frame. And the
Yeah, I
problem
agree
with
with
that
Cecilia
is the
because-
noise ordinance.
Sorry, go ahead.
So the reason why there's a time frame in there is because there's a noise ordinance, right? So when people live in like multifamily homes, someone's not opening and shutting the container and banging it and making noise. That's my thought.
but we're calling it so you know what? Let's, instead of saying or after the close of the business for commercial property, why don't we say or after the close of the business for a food establishment?
Okay.
What do you think of that? I think you're glitching, Christine.
Frozen. Oh, poor thing.
One of the problems.
So sorry, Christine, you're glitching. While we wait for her to come back, Doshan, there was one more thing that I don't think he caught that. I did. Under 2.7, we have 1/4 of a foot. That should be 1/4 of an inch.
Okay, which one is that?
Under 2.7,
Oh, back.
Yep.
2.7.
we have 1/4 of a foot. It should be 1/4 of an inch. So it should be like the two lines for inch to signify inch.
Yeah, but I don't see 2.7. The dumpster shall be what line? Sorry, I can't see it.
That's okay.
Then a quarter of an inch in diameter.
Correct. We have it right now as 1/4 of a foot.
Okay, so two
Correct.
quotations.
Yep.
All right. Like it says, the drain flange no more than 1.5
Inches.
inches. Okay.
Yep.
I don't think we can continue. We don't have a quorum.
Oh, I understand. Okay. Let me just text her, see if she's trying to get back on. We were so close to being done too. Let's see.
This is Jordan Davis, and you're listening to Backstage Entry. Selfish is my mom's least favorite song. I said I would take her after we finished this one. She said she liked all the songs except for this one. She said this one was gross. But she got two girlfriends, so, but, I don't know. She can't be too bad about it. But Selfish is a song about, for a long time. We go a lot, go on the road a lot, away from my loved ones, away from my wife. And sometimes when I get home, I just kind of be selfish in my time. So, that's how selfish I get. We say we could take it all day.
She's trying to get back on. Delshawn, she's saying for you to let her in. You see her?
I do now.
Awesome. There we go.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
That's, I
It was
think
working
Scott's
fine
joining.
until it wasn't.
Scott's coming in.
Okay. I'm sorry, where were we?
We were at the
4.10,
4.10.
okay. Okay, so what I was gonna what I was starting to say before I got cut off was that my concern about just making it food establishments is that for places like the nursing homes, they're 24 hours a day. And you know, that it might be an issue for an establishment like that, where, you know, they would have to get rid of certain waste. You know, it could be any time of day, 24 hours. So that would be my only concern about changing that to food establishments.
Okay, I agree. So business day for commercial property, industrial uses. We basically, what we want to say is a business that dumpsters are not to be filled after 9 p.m. or before 7 a.m. Okay. Unless Dumpsters are not to be filled after 9 PM or before 7 AM. Unless,
with the exception of commercial properties that have, how do we want to say, later operating hours, or well, what if we just said with the exception of,
not commercial, because commercial could mean like an apartment building. Or after the close, before 7 AM, with the exception, unless used for the purpose,
A for effort.
hold on, it's coming. Dumpsters are not to be filled after 9 PM before 7 AM, with the exception of,
I just want to just make a comment in that.
how about we say residential dumpsters
Well, so here's the thing.
and
It-
then
it-
scratch everything else?
Well, he's asking, is this provision is problematically vague? It needs to be clarified. Is there a benefit or purpose to not having a uniform time frame? Yeah, there is a benefit.
yes, yeah,
So I don't know that we really need to change it.
yeah, I think we
Because
can.
the benefit is that we need to keep it, we need to keep some businesses operate 24 hours a day that may
Mhm.
have waste that's, they have to get rid of. So I don't know that we really need to make a change to that. I mean, these are
Keep it as
suggested
is.
comments.
Yeah.
And we have a reason for keeping that.
It's purposely ambiguous.
Right.
Okay. I
I
agree.
mean, I don't, that's just my thought, but
Yeah, I agree. That works. What do you think, Delshawn?
Just to leave it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
leave it.
Yeah.
okay.
All right. So I can take all my little scratchy notes off.
All right.
Okay,
Hey,
finally. Sorry.
Oh, Mr. Margolis, it's nice for you to come.
You know, I tried signing on at work, but we're in the process of getting new internet because we keep losing all the Wi-Fi in the
yeah, we
place.
keep losing Christine.
I never have that problem. I don't know why.
I was at home and for some silly reason, I just jumped on and I was like, what's going on? And my son was playing PlayStation.
Oh, gee.
Oh. Okay, so where are we at? Dumpsters?
So yes, we actually just finished up with section 4.10 and moving on to section 5.0. And what we were doing, Scott, was just going through the commented sections and
Yep.
kind of yaying, naying, changing things around, etc.
Right. Yeah. 4.1, the only thing I had written down was, yeah, I agree, it needs better wording. And prior to that, I don't think I had anything major. Yeah. Okay. So we're on 5.1 now, 5.0.
So yes, so we're on 5.0,
Yeah.
it's the section for enforcement. And it appears the comment, is there an intended definition for in-place dumpster? If so, it should be incorporated in section 1.
Sure.
So we've already discussed,
That we're just calling it a
Yeah.
dumpster.
we're just going to call it a dumpster and we're scratching in.
Scratch it. Yeah, that's what I had wrote down. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I think that takes care of that.
So we're on
Yeah,
DQ.
5.2, 5.3, they had nothing.
Right.
Did you guys have any thoughts on that or no?
No.
Okay.
No. And then the next section, 7.0,
Mhm.
requesting a waiver. DK
Yeah.
11. Waiver for that purpose and exemption for this regulation, question mark, should provide additional clarity. Okay.
Yeah, so I came up, yeah, I agree. It was a good point. I'll throw this out here. So basically changing every request for a waiver at that point. I have every waiver request for an exemption from this regulation shall be in writing, blah, blah.
So I'm sorry, say it again.
Every waiver request for an exception from this regulation, because I think that was their issue.
No, I think the issue is that they don't, like, what are they gonna be requesting a waiver for?
That's how I read it as well, Scott.
Like, are they requesting a waiver for not to have a fence around the dumpster? Would they be requesting a waiver?
Yeah.
They could request
Yeah,
a
it could be,
waiver.
it could be anything really.
Close,
So
yeah.
it's just, these regulations.
Yeah, so how about every
Any-
request for a waiver
Yeah.
from all the aforementioned or something regulations shall be
Or-
in writing or
Any-
something like that.
Or we can simply
any-
just say
any-
every waiver request for any exception
Yeah,
There you
any
shall be in
all,
writing.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
yeah, any all should be in there, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Chris, for
on
any,
any all.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to leave just all.
Okay, so every waiver request for any / all exceptions shall be in writing accompanied by sketches.
Or just any.
Okay, so we're scratching, so we don't need all.
Yeah, I don't think
just
we need, yeah,
any.
just for any exception, and that opens it up to multiple requests.
Okay,
There's two things that they need an exemption on.
okay,
perfect.
all right, good. So that's 7.0. And then the last page where we have 7.2.
Yeah.
I think we just
Is that,
scratched the whole thing.
should, that, yeah, in compliance with section 8.1, should that be, is that referencing 7.3? Because there is no 8 point anything.
Correct. 7.2 says in compliance with section 8.1, which we don't have. So I think we scratched 7.2. We make 7.3 becomes 7.2, and then 7.4 becomes 7.3.
Correct. There's no benefit to the statement.
Yeah, the only thing, only this does is have them point out exactly what they are referring to. That's the only thing it really does.
The applicant shall refer to the
Oh.
specific section of the document for which a waiver
Specific
is
exemption,
sought.
yeah.
Oh,
So it's
okay, I
saying,
understand.
you know, so I want an exemption to 3.3, whatever, I'm just picking a number.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
This is
okay.
having them be specific in that waiver request, which I think is a good thing. So there's no, we don't need any more clarification. You know, it's not ambiguous. You know, there's no
So-
misunderstanding.
Just end it at the word sought. So the applicant shall refer to the specific section of the dumpster regulations for which a waiver is sought.
Right.
Yeah,
All right,
Yep.
so cross out and a statement in compliance with section 8.
Correct.
All right.
perfect.
Okay.
I apologize, but I missed the whole 7.1.
Okay, so 7.1 will say every waiver request for any exemption shall be in writing accompanied by any sketches, pictures, or any other information for the board's consideration.
All right, so do you have that already
Yeah.
written out?
Well, one second. I think my impression of their comments, because we kind of just said the same thing, just that we already have, but just changed the words around. I think they want a direction towards like the regulations, an exemption from what? So I think we just add from, these regulations, from this regulation, I guess these regulations, since it's multiple sections.
So you could write every waiver request for any exception to these regulations.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every request for a waiver. What'd you say, Cecilia?
Every waiver request for any exceptions to these regulations.
For any exceptions
To these regulations.
to these. Okay.
Yes.
Every waiver request for exceptions to these regulations shall be writing accompanied by any sketches and pictures. Okay,
For
Okay.
any exceptions.
for any exceptions. Okay. When you guys get these, you're gonna have to look them over again.
And then Christine, while you were missing, we did do under section 2.7.
2.7,
Mhm.
back
It
to
references. Yeah,
It's
Oh,
the 1,
okay.
2, 3, the fourth line down where it says a quarter foot, it should be a quarter inch, so I'm gonna add another parenthesis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at that. Oh, good catch.
That was all Cecilia.
Wow.
Okay.
I was thinking.
Well,
I'm like,
She
wait,
was,
She has a lot younger eyes than us, I
I'm like, that's pretty big.
Okay.
think. Oh,
Very
okay.
good. Very
okay,
good.
so now we're on 7.3.
I think.
Oh, no, we're done.
Oh, yeah, no, that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, Scott, thanks for joining.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
A
You're forgiven this time.
lot of stuff going on at work. Do we
Okay.
need to put in the date of effect too?
Well, we're gonna have to go over these again in our February meeting.
All right.
And then Scott, just so you know, the one thing we're kind of leaving up in the air for now, unless you have input.
Yep.
Is what defines,
Container.
no, so we actually just got rid
We're
of
just gonna
container.
scratch.
Thank you. You scratched that. All right, good.
We just used container in the definition for a dumpster, and then we got rid of it everywhere else.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, that was my thought too.
But there is one thing, correct, Christine, that you were gonna look into the highway department. Sean, remember?
I was, yeah.
What was it
Yep.
on?
That was section 2.5.
Yeah,
Yep, so I'm just gonna talk to Tom and Dave about that whole section.
okay. I got it. Oh, no, it's what constitutes a temporary dumpster. That's what we were.
Oh, that other
kinda
one? Oh,
leaving
that's
up in the
another
air
one.
for now. Whether it's
Oh,
like
and I was
30
gonna
days,
ask
60
them that too. Where's that? That is,
You were going to talk to John Lucas at the building department about that.
yeah. Yep, temporary dumpsters. I have
Right.
JL next to it. So
Unless you
when
have
I'm
any
gonna,
input
so
on that, Scott.
What's that?
Unless you have any input on that.
What section was temporary dumpster?
it's just a definition. And it's also noted on I
so
think 2.5.
Well, 2.5 is not temporary. That's just town property.
Yeah, I don't know where the temporary, I know that he
Did we add a
references it.
definition for temporary dumpster? Because it's not on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
we're going to
that's
add
where it
temporary
is.
dumpster.
Okay, so on section 2.8, A, B, and C, it says temporary dumpsters. So the
No.
exceptions of permitting requirements are dumpsters within that with less than
Oh, I got it now. See,
C. C is on page 3.
there it is. Okay. No, yeah, that's fine.
So I'm gonna talk to John Lucas about that.
Okay.
Okay. And then we also discussed including a definition for, in section one.
Wetlands
Yep.
and
Recycle
solid waste.
materials and solid waste, yeah.
You got it. Yep. We're doing all of those. I circled it and highlighted it. Where did I do that? Oh yeah, in section 4.7 talks about rubbish, garbage, recyclable materials.
Yep.
And I'm not even gonna say that word, Cecilia, say that.
Oh, the patriciable?
Yeah. Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
I'll figure that out. I'm gonna look that up and I might just take it out
Yeah.
because it
if we
might
don't need it.
raise questions,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, if we don't need it, get rid of it.
Okay.
What? We got to the end of that? Nice.
All right. So that. Scott, did you have any other questions or comments about the dumpster guidelines?
No, actually, no. I think we were all on this, sounds like we were all on the same page in this.
Okay.
So that is something that is liable to decay or rot.
Yeah, it's all stuff that rots, basically.
Putrescible.
Think of putrid.
Did you hear that?
Putrescible.
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 Putrescible. There you go. So I guess we should keep that.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it should stay there because it's makes the definition.
Christine,
Okay.
what is that?
Anything else with the dumpster? That should be it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will
That's
do my best to get these over at the latest by Friday.
Okay.
All right, great. Yeah, then we'll put them on the
The February meeting and hopefully that will be it.
yeah, maybe touch base with town council, just make sure that, everything's good, but we didn't really go off base with what they said, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Mhm.
Get on the February meeting. All right,
And then in time for the animal regulations.
yes,
I'm gonna work with Ian on that.
Mhm.
I know that I gave you guys what we had and what I would like. I can resend it if you want. But what I'll do is I'll just sit with Ian and discuss anything that he has thoughts with.
yeah, definitely.
Davidson is the animal
And-
control officer.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, he's a good resource for that.
Amazing. Because he's the one that actually goes out and does inspections.
Right. So makes sense. All right, great. I don't have an agenda in front of me because I kind of scrambled here at the end. Anything else on the agenda that we need to go over?
That's everything, Scott.
Okay.
Yep.
We already did the.
I assumed as much.
I will forward you my health agents report. It's nothing great. It's really simple. Things are moving forward. Kathy's doing public health nurse stuff. Yeah, that's it. And you know that we hired that girl. She starts on Monday.
Oh, we did. Okay. I knew it was going to that point. I didn't know it actually was official, but all right, great. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm psyched.
Get some more bodies in there.
Yeah, she came in yesterday and I was like, this is your home. So I'm excited.
Great.
Yep.
All right. Does anybody else have anything else they need to bring up? Cecilia,
Nope, good.
Christine?
Nope, I'm all set.
Okay. I have nothing major. I thought about it. I probably should get it out there. But no surprise with the way I was so late tonight, and I've had other issues in the past. But with my new position at work, it's making this too hard to do. So I talked it over, and unfortunately, I am not going to be running for reelection. So I encourage anybody with some experience to in all the matters that we do touch, food, Section 8, apartments, pools, the medical side of it.
Would love a medical side. I actually spoke to a resident who was thinking about running. And she's a huge resource.
Yeah, good.
So
Yeah, unfortunately, with the way of COVID and all the strains and everything else that comes up, it's going to be a good chunk of the department. So yeah, if anybody's out there that wants to get back to the community and has some experience in that side, encourage them to take papers out and run. Other than that,
yeah, the selectmen made a great comment in their last meeting too, about getting people out there to run for the right reasons and not the wrong.
yeah, definitely. Hey, it's a great town. It's great to get back to it, So, all right, if there's nothing else, I guess I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. So actually, I think we need to raise our hands
Oh,
just to make it technical on Zoom, I believe. So
Oh,
all
not
right,
me.
all that was in favor? No, you do not. So all right, so all in favor? And I don't have my calendar out right here. February's meeting is when?
February's meeting is February
22nd.
22nd.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. Okay, I'll see you guys around.
all right, thank you.
Scott, if you can come in and sign payroll, that would be great.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that. What time in tomorrow?
I don't know. I'll be here by 8.
Text me in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try and squeeze in before I go to Hyde Park.
Okay.
So okay.
All right. And
Right.
I will adjust the abatement sheet, correct it. And it will be here for you guys to sign. I believe next Tuesday is a late night.
Okay, I'll be in to do that.
It is. Next Tuesday is a late night.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Do you need
All right.
any other signatures? Do you need me to come in for any other signatures before that? I know I've been missed because I've been sick, but
Yeah. No, Scott and Christine signed everything that we had. I haven't had time to do any bills or anything like that today.
so I'll be by next Tuesday night then. Sign
Oh,
my-
okay. Well, obviously because of your work, you can't get here between.
I mean, I can get there early, but it's kind of hard to get up so early.
Yeah.
I don't like getting up early.
I'm not going to argue that one.
I'm telling you, it feels so good not being here at 6 o'clock in the morning. It really does. And I didn't come in all weekend. So that's 2 weekends in a
Good.
row.
It's-
I'm so happy.
You
Yeah.
know what it is
Things
with
are
me?
looking better. What's that?
It doesn't matter what time I get up. I still leave the house at the same time.
Mhm.
I can't.
Yes.
It's like, come on.
Okay.
I know.
We're probably still airing this, so we should probably
Okay.
wrap it up, I guess. So, all right. So we had a motion. All were in favor, and next meeting's February 22nd.
Yep.
And everybody have a great night.
Thank you.